closed. Exhale through the nose. Holding at the bottom. Inhale in the nose. Exhale out the nose. Hum, stimulate the vagal nerve next to the vocal cords. Shifting weight from foot to foot, making sure to keep them in a nice close space to our hip sockets. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly getting used to inhale. Each breath, just getting a movement. Exhaling in the nose, out the nose, and inhaling in the nose, holding the breath and getting low into the movement as you exhale every bit of breath from your belly and your lungs. So breathing out the nose. Inhaling and lifting, shifting weight from hip to hip. Inhale. Just starting to bend the knees, keeping them shoulder width. Waking up the hips and the lower sacrum. Activating the glutes and the hip flexors. Lift the toes. Inhale. Shift the weight into the heels, lifting the toes, opening up the hip flexor, exhaling all the air. Inhaling, pushing the weight into the glutes, toes lifted to the ceiling, slowly waking up the lower back. It's all about trust. Inhale, lift. Open up those hip flexors. Exhale, sitting down in the chair. Slowly just keeping that chest open. Sitting down and back behind you, pushing weight into the buttocks, the gluteus maximus. Always moving, shifting the weight into all of the parts of our feet. Inhale. We're going to keep doing this until we start to get this rhythm with our breathing. Exhale. Three more times. Last one. Sink down that chair, lifting those toes up, shifting the weight into the heels, sides of the feet, keeping the toes and knees squared off, standing up nice and slow. Beautiful. Now we're going to do some lunges. We're going to step back with our right foot, just back enough to feel our balance left or right. We're gonna inhale up on that back toe, and as we exhale, we're gonna keep pushing this foot back. So inhale, exhale into a nice high lunge, opening up the chest. And inhale and lift, step forward. Exhale, step back, other foot. And drop down. Great work. Great job. Return sideways. Lifting the toes. Weight's gonna go right here to the glutes by putting the weight, lifting the toes up towards the ceiling. Weights in the heels. We're gonna push back nice and far. We're gonna sit down in this nice little chair and just let our hands hang, keeping the chest up, head above the heart, heels, buttocks, chest lifted. And we're gonna stand up nice and tall. Now we're slowly gonna walk down our thighs, skipping your kneecaps, right down to the shins, keeping those toes lifted up towards the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale, just slowly. Giving in and relaxing your lower spine. Can be waking up the hamstring, the attachment point to the glute, and we're warming up our calf, lifting the toes, using the mat for stability. So 4 points of contact. You're just gonna sway your weight from hip to hips, feeling the tight groin, feeling maybe the hamstring where it's maybe needing a little work. Keeping that slight bend in the knee, not straightening anything out. Maybe switching from heel to heel, outside of both feet to the left, outside of both feet to the right. And inhale, coming to center. And exhale and drop your head down towards the mat, keeping your hands on the mat or close to for stability. We're gonna shake out our head, yes. And then no. Keeping that weight distributed right back along the calf and the glutes. Keeping your hands on the mat, keeping the head above the heart. We're just gonna bring our buttocks down so that our back and our weight is right here in our glutes. We're slowly just gonna stand up nice and tall. Nice slow activation, body trust. And exhale, slowly folding. However you feel you want to fold, like a swan, using your legs for stability, curling your back when you feel the need, releasing the tension in the feet and the Achilles tendon. Inhale. And exhale, drop the head, exit all air out of the tummy. Inhale, drop the buttocks. Weight in the heels and slowly stand up with confidence. Open up the hip flexors. And exhale, we're gonna fold, keeping the chest pulled down towards the mat. Focused on the hamstrings, relaxing the back, or supporting it however you need. Taking a second to ragdoll, keeping the knees bent. Maybe work on getting lower back and upper back muscles activated, shifting, getting used to being flexible while you're bent over so that you can keep your heart above your head and you don't lose or get dizzy. So butts down, and here we go, lifting up. We're just really going to train the strength to be low and the flexibility to be able to deactivate those hip flexors. And here we go, nice little dive down towards the mat. Toes lifted towards the ceiling. Two more times. Play around. Bringing the buttocks down and then lifting from the heels and the buttocks. Great job. Now we're going to do some walkout push-ups, taking small steps always. Feet just right underneath the hips. We're going to crawl down the quads. Heads above the heart. Coming down to the shins. Knees slightly bent. We're going to take tiny little steps with our hands. As your hands get down the mat, keeping the knees slightly bent, however you need. Shifting the weight into that right hand first. As your hands get down the mat, keeping the knees slightly bent, however you need. Shifting the weight into that right hand first. Into the fingers, into this back corner of the palm, to the back side of the palm, into the fingers and into the pad of the hand. Taking the time to shift the weight and breathe. Putting the other hand down just a little bit above that one. Same thing, pushing the fingers into the mat. Shifting weight into the outside of the fingers, into the thumb joint, into the palm, just right underneath the shoulder. Nice little crawl outwards. Learning to shift the weight, but find an opportunity to stretch and intelligently send your mind into your extremity and breathe. And try to connect every part of your movement with your breathing. Slowly we're working our way into a plank. A nice plank where our wrists are underneath our shoulders, and we're just going to rock from hand to hand, pushing the weight into all parts of our fingers, grabbing the mat, pushing the tailbone up, shifting one weight as you breathe, working the toe joints, using the mat, getting into that big toe joint, dropping the heel for some Achilles work, coming to neutral, and just dropping our hips just a little bit. Take a nice breath. Exhale. When you come back until your feet have the weight, not your hands, keeping the knees slightly bent, dropping the buttocks. We're going to stand up nice and tall. Lifting the toes, shifting weight from side to side. Shaking out the hands. I'm going to clap and create some energy. Rub them together. Mudras if you like. Here we go, round 2. Nice slow activation, trying to shift weight from every part of your hands, your forearms, your triceps, your chest, trying to activate everything with the slow movement. But as the activation happens, the mind slowly pushes and finds that flexibility in the movements and finding the comfort and that playfulness of your exercising takes the structure and the comfortability to a place where you can have freedom because it's your activity with your body. So slightly bent knees, just walking down, slowly finding your hands on the mat or on your shins to wake up the lower back. Nice slow crawl, inhaling and exhaling. Nice, beautiful plank. Hips, shoulders, ankles all squared off. Holding the belly button in, shifting weight into the fingers, into the back of the heels of the hands, the middle of the hand, which is the front pad. Slowly lifting the buttocks up, shifting from heel to heel, dropped for the Achilles stretch. Coming back into a plank. Inhale. Beautiful. Shake out the hands. Shift weight from foot to foot. If you have some water around, we're going to do another leg exercise mixed with some breathing. Always taking your time, waiting for when you're ready and when you feel strength. Taking a step out to the right and then a step out to the left, wide stance. Taking heel toe out just to where you're comfortable. You don't want to feel a strain where you're trying to pull your feet in or push out. You just want a nice, comfortable, wide base. We're going to start shifting weight from foot to foot. We're going to pop, not out of socket, but we're just going to drop one hip down and start to pay attention to that groin. And as we pay attention to that groin, we're going to make sure this knee stays slightly bent. Other side, just feeling the groin open up. Taking your time, shifting the weight up, opening the hip flexor, feeling the lower abs stretch out, and push the weight back, keeping that chest up to that front wall. Now start to shift as your weight is back and your buttocks is back. Lifting those toes, never any weight in the toes. Shifting from side to side, opening up the groin from the bottom leg, side to side. Inhale. Exhale. As you get comfortable, we're going to put our hands on our shins, shifting weight from side to side, keeping the knee right over those toes. Using the mat whenever you need to. What we're getting used to is keeping the weight where we can have strength, that it's a safe movement. So keeping the toe and knee, shifting weight in the glute, back here, quads activated, keeping the chest lifted. Inhale. Now as we get comfortable, I'm going to start to put my hand on the mat, get a little wider, because I'm going to come down into a side lunge. You can take your foot over your knee now, but eventually I'm going to do a side, complete drop down lunge. So I'm going to really open up this groin so my foot's out to my side. Just take your time, use the mat, shifting the weight from side to side. Start to get comfortable with that beautiful groin. Lifting the buttocks first, shifting, making sure your feet are placed in a good spot. You guys rock. I love you. This is why we share, right? Energies match, same frequencies. Shifting from side to side. radio's in the way. Oh, beautiful. Oh, yeah. I'm going to release some tension in my hamstrings. Keeping that just lifted, shifting into the different parts of the feet. You're using your body weight to stretch out the toes. And try to visit every part of your foot on each side. Your feet are your connection point to the ground. And in order to make sure that your feet are healthy, it's nice to send some energy from your heart and your love, from your mind back through your heart into these parts of your feet that do so much for you. Shifting, stretching, getting used to those heels. Seeing if you can, keep your chest up with your heels on the ground, moving the feet around, getting comfortable. Chest up. Now relax that spine, but keeping the weight in the heels, upper back. And then lift up the chest as you inhale. Just trying to play, be fun. Have fun with your ability to move and connect. Just trying to keep that chest lifted if you're going to stand up or use the mat. I say beginner, use the mat. I say intermediate, push into the weight with your heels and walk up your legs. And if you're advanced, just go ahead and push up with your heels, keeping your chest lifted. I really like this position, so I'm going to stay here for a while. And I'll show you what it looks like. Just pushing into the heels, activating the glutes, feeling strength into all those beautiful parts of your lower back and standing up nice and slow. Shifting weight from side to side. Gorgeous. Inhale. Detox breathing. Gonna come into a warrior stance. Left legs forward, right legs back. Right foot is at a 25 to 45 degree slant, depending on your flexibility. All right, you just keep that front leg nice and strong, all of our strength here. Balance here in our back leg. This hip is twisted out just a little bit. And we're gonna reach forward. Inhale, weights in that heel right there. Pushing the weight into that heel, keeping your chest lifted, reaching out. Nice and far, lifting the toes. Inhale, we're gonna pull back, lift up to the sky. This hand comes down the back of the leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Stepping forward. Stepping forward with right foot, just a nice comfortable step. Back with a nice comfortable step, foot slightly out. Hip facing that direction. Weight in this front heel. We're gonna inhale. Exhale, reach forward, pushing the weight into that front heel. Inhale, lift the hand. And relax. Down on all fours. Down towards the mat. Going down on all fours, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the heels. We're just going to shift weight from side to side. Lean back into the knees. Shift the weight around on the ACL and all the attachment points. When you do that, you're sending blood to those gristly points, which is really hard to get blood flow. That's why it takes a long time to heal a joint injury, such as like a big ACL or pretty much any joint or tendon. It takes the fibrous part, the white part, takes a long time to heal. Taking your time to shift weight into the hands and hips. Coming back further, waking up the knees and seeing how they feel as you push your way out. Bringing your hands back. Just getting comfortable with how your knees feel. And then coming back out into all fours. And then slowly dropping the hips. Not leaning too far forward or relaxing the weight or pushing open, but allowing your weight just to sink it open. Shifting weight back into the knees. Shifting weight from side to side. Waking up all the vertebrae. All the intercostal space of the shoulders. Playing around like a little cat. Or a dog or a dolphin. Or a seal. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Here we go, tucking the toes up underneath the shins. We're gonna come back, play with the feet again. Just visiting that big toe socket and then out into the little toes, breathing in the nose. And out the nose. Shifting the weight into that big pad of the foot. Getting every part of it with your weight. Coming back into all fours. We're going to come into a plank position. We're going to come over to the side plank, activating our side body. Focusing on the shoulder alignment with our wrists, making sure that we're comfortable. And we're just going to open our chest. And this exercise should never, when you're first starting, be more than 20 seconds. And as soon as you start shaking, we're just going to go right back to our chest. Inhale, and then exhale, and we're just going to go right over to the other side. We're just getting used to putting this much weight on this stacked joint, which is important to strengthen. So we're just going to stay here until we get to that uncomfortable place, because we're building. We're not trying to break our muscles down yet, because we're trying to get really stable first and comfortable and build trust. Just keep on switching back and forth. Fingers open, back to the middle. Over to the other side. Back on all four. Dropping the tummy all the way down to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, all the air comes out. C-shaped spine. Exhale, C-shaped spine. Inhale. Okay, now tuck the toes up underneath the shins. Walk the hands back, keeping the toes so that they're flat. Shifting the weight from the pinky toe to the pinky toe, visiting that little ring finger toe. This little piggy went to the market. This little piggy stayed home. Visiting all those joints, they stay curled down in the shoe all day long, so we want to make sure and reverse that. We're just gonna take a nice big inhale. Pushing back as we exhale to the middle pad. Playing around with our feet and our hands. Keeping those hands under the shoulders is important. And then coming back onto all fours. We're going to take this right leg and just lift it up to the ceiling, opening up, and come right to the knee. I'm going to push our heel up to the sky. And pull our knee to our elbow. Exhale, pushing the hip open. strengthening the lower back. And come back onto all four. Relax the hips. Get ready for that other side. Inhale. Centered off, all four extremities have the same amount of weight. Exhale, lifting that heel up, just getting comfortable with the movement. Inhale, right to the knee. Exhale. Shifting weight from side to side. Curling your toes into the shins, pushing back. Waking up those toes. Getting used to that weight. Being able to distribute it nice and low. Getting really mobile so that you're always able to get up and down off the ground. Have fun for a few minutes. Nice little plank. Coming back down onto all fours. Go ahead and lift up our right leg as we inhale. Feeling all those muscles in the lower back. That hip open and stretch. Right to the elbow. Sit however you like. Shifting onto the buttocks. We're going to do a slow sit up into a nice slow little crawl. Just letting our C-shaped spine just be comfortable, relaxed spine. And then inhale. And slowly we're going to roll from our sacrum all the way down the mat. Slowly. Slow. Using the pressure to walk down that sacrum to the spine. Relax the shoulders, open the chest. Inhale. Hands go up above the head. Exhale, hands right above your shoulders. And then inhale, slowly sitting up. Nice and slow, beautiful. Just walking down the thighs. Coming down to a place of comfort. Gorgeous. Yes. Slow activation. Oh, I feel good. How do you guys feel? There's 9 of you watching. Got any questions? Choose. Peace. Auf Wiedersehen. Later, Gator.